Hello everyone and welcome to the 2019 SRS Awards. Just like the previous 2 years, we're going to be recapping the past year in sports in one giant Avengers-style mashup video. Wait a second, was it the previous 3 years? Unlike the previous years, Mike isn't hosting, as you can clearly tell. I'll be like the cool substitute teacher in his absence. And even though it would take both of Mike's feet to fit in one of my shoes, it still feels like I have some big metaphorical shoes to fill, so I'm going to do my best as your host. 2019 was easily our biggest year to date, and it's all thanks to everyone watching. In celebration of this year's success, we thought it would be fitting if we did a throwback theme for the show this year to celebrate our channel's history, and that means you're going to hear from a lot of familiar voices in today's show. Each of our awards tonight will be presented by former SRS contributors. Here's Chris with something about a dog. He knows there's no animals allowed on stage, right?
What is up, everyone? It's me, the average guy, back and fatter than ever. Unless you've been living under a rock, I'm sure you've heard of a little show called The Mandalorian. And at the very least, you've seen all the Baby Yoda memes. So, this year, I have the pleasure of announcing the winner of the Mando and Baby Yoda Award for the most adorable sports pairing. Now, usually I'd just list off a bunch of nominees, whether it's athletes bringing their kids to the press conferences, or maybe some athlete handing out a jersey or a pair of shoes to a young fan. But not this time. This year's winner was a no-brainer, and nominees weren't even needed. This year's winner of the Mando and Baby Yoda Award is the entire San Francisco 49ers football team and their ridiculously adorable support dog, a French bulldog named Zoe. Zoe was the first support animal to make it into the NFL and has won the heart of all 49ers players, and soon enough will win everyone else's heart as well. Congrats, Zoe. Let's hope the 49ers bump your pay next year. I'll be honest, I'd even trade a Bosa brother to keep you on the team. Thanks for tuning in and have a good rest of your day.
Between you and I, Chris is a bit on the older side, but that's okay. We love having him on the channel for his lovely personality and prehistoric perspective. I kid, but it's always good to learn from your elders. With the rise of the popular "okay boomer" phrase this year, it's not exactly the most common practice in today's society. There is, however, one person I do know personally who plans on respecting his elders in today's show, and that's Mike. And he's here today to present the 2019 Boomer of the Year Award.
So a very prevalent recurring joke this year was the "okay boomer" joke directed at older people from younger people. I don't know about you, but I was raised to respect my elders. So the award I will be presenting today is the Boomer of the Year Award, awarded to the most lovable person in sports born within the years 1946 and 1964. Could we really do this award and not nominate Skip Bayless for it? He can't lose in his shoes, he's back as a Kawhi Leonard fan, you could argue he's Twitter's favorite son. Odds are you're well acquainted with who Skip is, which just goes to show the mythos of this man. Steve Ballmer is the owner of the LA Clippers. All probability points to him having more money than any of us. He's got the energy of a college orientation leader, and he's just fired up to watch Clipper basketball. Ed Orgeron is the head coach of LSU football. His team might win the national championship. He's got one of the most famous voices out of anyone with his occupation. He is simply Coach O.
Thank you, Reese. Go Tigers.
Bill Belichick. He coaches the Patriots. He's got a nice hoodie. You can make him into a meme pretty easily. And his son may or may not be his clone. And the winner is Steve Ballmer. I could only hope to be half as positive, as devoted, and as fun as Steve Ballmer is when I get to be his age. Thank you for your time, everyone. I really hope you enjoy the rest of the show. Take it easy, guys.
Pretty cool. Pretty damn cool. Woo!
I don't know about you, but I'm a huge fan of a good comeback story. We've seen plenty over the course of 2019, ranging from Everson Griffin's battle with mental health issues, to the Nationals coming back down 3-2 in Houston to win the World Series, and even to Antonio Brown, who came back from getting cut by the Raiders just to get cut by the Patriots. Seeing a person or group of people rise from the ashes like a phoenix is a really great thing to see, and our next guest wholeheartedly agrees. And to present the award for the best comeback of 2019, here's Cole Adams.
Good evening, everyone. Tonight I will be presenting you the award for the best comeback in sports during 2019. I thought it would be fitting since I have made my comeback to the channel for the yearly award show. I've made 2 videos around here, so it's good to be back. Now here are the nominees. The St. Louis Blues 2019 Stanley Cup Championship run. On January 2nd of this year, the St. Louis Blues were an NHL worst 15-18-4, but after that they went on a 30-10-5 run, made the playoffs, and battled their way to the Stanley Cup final, and won the championship in a Game 7 in Boston, and this is the franchise's first ever Stanley Cup title. Tiger Woods wins the 2019 Masters. Tiger Woods has had one of the best golfing careers ever, and it has sadly declined over the years due to all sorts of injuries and other issues, but on April 14th of 2019, Tiger Woods won the Masters, which was his first major championship in 11 years. People thought we would never see him win another major ever again, and then he went out and did it at the Masters at 43 years old. The Virginia Cavaliers losing to a 16 seed and then winning the title the next year. So this story dates back to 2018 and ends in April of 2019. The Virginia Cavaliers had one of the most embarrassing losses in NCAA tournament history, when they were the first team to ever lose in March Madness to a 16 seed. This team was mocked and made fun of for a year, and before the tournament started this year, they were written off as a team that just couldn't win in March because of how they played. And this team had no easy route to the title, but they went out and won the whole thing a year after being a part of one of the biggest upsets of all time. These 3 nominees all provided so many stories respectively, but I get to pick the winner, and the winner of the best comeback in 2019 goes to the Virginia Cavaliers, who win this award for me because of 1, I always believed in them and they are my boys, and 2, I really do think they had the best run to win the title. They had the most embarrassing loss ever in the NCAA tournament, and then the next year they were ready to prove the world wrong, and then in their first game they were down 14 points at half versus 16-seeded Gardner-Webb, and once again everyone thought they were going to lose and embarrass themselves, but they went on to win this game versus Gardner-Webb. Then they handled business versus Oklahoma in the round of 32. In the Sweet 16, they had an all-out war versus Oregon, and their defense carried them over the Ducks. But their next 3 games to win the title proved what they were all about. Versus Purdue in the Elite Eight, they faced Carson Edwards and Purdue, and it took them a game-tying buzzer beater to force overtime, and Virginia survived one of the all-time performances by Carson Edwards, and the Cavs finally got to the Final Four, and they really got the monkey off their back. But they didn't just want to get to the Final Four, they wanted to win the title. And in the Final Four, they faced Auburn, and with 1.5 seconds left, Virginia inbounded the ball to Kyle Guy, who was fouled on the 3 and locked it down for Virginia. And in the title game, Virginia faced Texas Tech, and with 12.9 seconds left, DeAndre Hunter hits the game-tying 3 to force overtime, and Virginia pulled away and won the championship. This is one of my favorite sports stories of all time, and they really were a team of destiny. And for the first time ever, the Cavaliers finally won a title without LeBron.
So on last year's show, we decided to bring on a fan to present one of the awards, and we're going to continue that tradition again this year. So to introduce this next presenter, I'm going to do it with a story. So I was sitting with my friend Eric in Thermo a couple months back. It was around the time that Beltran had just signed to be the Mets' new manager. My friend Eric and I were both Mets fans, so I was talking to him about the move, asking him what he thought of it. So I sent him the video that I made on Carlos Beltran. So after I send him the message, he goes, "Oh, I saw this video. I love Raving Sports." So I'm sitting there for a second. I'm looking at him weird. I forgot if I had told him about the channel at some point in one of our classes a few semesters ago. I just couldn't remember. So I'm staring him, I'm giving him the stink eye for like 2 minutes. And then I asked, "Yeah, the guy who made that video is pretty awesome, right?" You know, like giving him a hint. And then you just see a light bulb go off in his head. He had no idea that it was me. So he had been a fan of mine for a while, but he had no idea that it was me who he was a fan of. Crazy world.
Oh! See, that's why I watch these things. That's like a cool behind-the-scenes thing that you wouldn't know.
So across polls that we did on both YouTube and Twitter, you guys voted for what you thought was the best SRS video from this past year. And to present the winner of that award, here is my friend and apparently a lifelong fan, Eric from Thermo.
Hey everyone, it's Eric from Thermo, and today I'm going to be presenting the award for the best SRS video of 2019. Matt and Mike narrowed it down to 4 nominees. The first nominee is the most recent, and it's What Happened to Prince Fielder from Matt with Sad Man Baseball. This video was the channel's longest video and featured a new choose your own adventure style that some people loved and others, well, not so much. The next nominee is The MLB Player Who Never Touched a Bat or Glove from Mike, which was about a man named Herb Washington whose only job in baseball was to pinch run for the Athletics. The next nominee is Mike's Rutgers Football is a Joke video, which featured Mike explaining why Rutgers football is a joke. This one's pretty self-explanatory. And the final nominee is Chris's La Tortuga video, which was dedicated to Twins teddy bear and MLB superstar Willens Astudillo. After around 2,000 of you voted, the winner, with nearly 60% of the vote, is Matt's Prince Fielder video. So basically what the voters are saying is that they want more videos about Fantasyland video games. Got it. Congrats to Matt and Sadman on the award. Thank you to SRS for having me on, and from now on, I'll do my best to recognize my friend's voice if I hear it in a YouTube video.
So when we did this award last year, you guys voted for literally the first video we did in 2018. Now this year, you voted for one of the last videos we did in 2019. That's pretty crazy. Now this wouldn't be a legitimate award show without a musical performance. Mike had gotten one 2 years ago for the show, but that didn't go so well.
Okay, now it's time to bring out our musical guest for this award show. Please welcome famed musical mastermind Lil Pump performing his song Gucci Gang.
So to make up for that incident, we invited a legitimate performer to perform an original rap that he wrote just for us. So now please welcome tonight's musical performer, All One.
SOS when you decide to grab the mic, a pack of lies or fantasize. SMH son, I scrutinize and analyze your advertised badness like SRS. You two guys, Matt and Mike with athletes, stats and lives. I'm a talking machine, brave little toaster, able to roast you, leave your ego plagued with holes like the face of Ray Liotta. Even for good fellas, art's a long shot like framing the coat, but your career's a stretch. Do you train in yoga? Small and wet-eyed like Baby Yoda. Can't help but laugh when I see you, I may be Joker. Bar none, I'm Barnum, the greatest showman. You lazy face painting clones or clowns simply craving showbiz. Matt and Mike amazing, posting dope is precocious, hoping they grow in to be the next David Conan. Famously hosting daily cable shows, take the throne like their name was Snow in a Game of Thrones HBO clip. Start raving, sporting my madness, belts and buckles adorning my jacket. Straight up, my writing room wall should be padded. Thought you were savage, but although you flaccid with soft interactions, your violent, fraudulent acting is old like war reenactments. Calling us Matt when reporting the facts in. Record a sad morbid what happened. Cliff notes, you fell off cause you were awful at rapping. Makes sense, jackass, if you stunt you should fall. You could call players bigger jokes than Rutgers football. Can't relate to these whack kids claiming they mad rich, raking in mad chips. Bet these fantasy draft picks, rap clicks, are big clowns sitting at home like Angel Hernandez. Matt impersonating you's the only clip you be honest in. Herbs running a pinch like your last name's Washington. Air out your dirty laundry, spin you get washed again. Throw in the towel, we've no common threads. Cut from a different cloth, you are not a threat. Must be bonkers when it's obvious you're off your meds. Can't punch with me when we've been in these references. In summary, I'm seasoned with these sentences. All one, checking what your click subscribes to. Start raving, go ahead and check in and click subscribe too. And if you don't, then I don't like you. Nah, I'm just joking.
We'd like to thank All One for joining us tonight. He's a rapper and poet in the Long Island area, and he's absolutely phenomenal at what he does. We'll leave links to his work down in the description. Make sure to go check him out. I promise you won't regret doing so. Thanks again to All One for performing for us.
Now back to the show.
Wikipedia defines a clown to be... Oh wait, cut that out. Literal and metaphorical clowns can be found everywhere in society today, and especially in the sports world. In what can be a tough world to navigate, we rejoice when being able to laugh at others for their aches, mistakes, and of course, bad takes. And as such, we should celebrate these clowns for providing us with constant laughs in an otherwise sorrowful world. And now presenting the award for the biggest clown in the NHL in 2019, let's welcome back Johnny.
And now for the award for the biggest clown or clowns in the NHL in the year 2019. My name is Johnny, and we're going to start with the recent one, Garnet Hathaway speeding on somebody. Now, I as a Caps fan could say, hey, he took a cheap shot, but ultimately, whenever you spit on somebody, or in the case of Brad Marchand, lick somebody, you are indeed a clown. Keeping it recent, the next nominee is Mike Babcock for being Mike Babcock. If you don't know the backstory to this one, Mike Babcock was the coach of a very young Maple Leafs team, and he made Mitch Marner, a rookie at the time, create a list from least to greatest which players on the team worked the hardest, and then showing those players at the bottom of the list where they stood, two of which happening to be his line mates. Not only is this extremely unprofessional, but it is indeed clownish. Mike Babcock, congratulations, you're out of a job. Bringing it back a little bit, we have the Golden Knights in a Game 7 of a playoff series, giving up four goals on one 5-minute major. And yes, again, you could blame the refs and say, hey, you shouldn't have called that a 5-minute major. And I would come back and say, well, maybe in a Game 7 that you were leading 3-0 in the third period, do not give up 4 goals on a 5-minute major, and that's exactly what they did. Clowns, the lot of them. Now, our final nominee and winner of the biggest clowns in the NHL in the year 2019 could it be anyone else but the entirety of the Tampa Bay Lightning. This was a Disney on Ice level production of Clowns on Ice, the Tampa Bay Lightning, tying the wins record in the regular season, getting the President's Trophy, going up against a fledgling Columbus Blue Jackets opponent and being swept. And again, as I mentioned before, as a Caps fan, I must thank the Tampa Bay Lightning for making the 2010 Capitals not the most embarrassing team to go into the playoffs. I really do appreciate it. You do win the award for the biggest clowns in the NHL in the year 2019. Wear it proudly. You're probably not going to win again this year.
So we're pretty deep into this award show at this point, and I'm sure you're all loving me as host right about now.
Matt straight up sucks.
I think it's time I got in on the fun.
I'll do it myself.
The comment section on a YouTube video can range from a moderate series of discussions to a fiery pit of dissenting opinions depending on the channel you're watching. I'm happy to say that the comment section on Raving Sports is a fairly calm arena, all things considered. As is the case in any comment section, there are always a select few that stand out from the bunch. We've had tens of thousands of fans comment on our videos this past year, but which ones stand out the most? He isn't the presenter, but I wanted to quickly mention that I tried to get a friend of ours, Ben Plays Games, in here. If you remember, he made that video earlier this year about sports kits. Ben's from the UK and he has about as much knowledge of American sports as Dahi Denogla, so it was a bit hard to find him his own category.
I'm actually the swinger for the LA Lakers.
If you hear somebody with a voice changer in the background for this next award, that's our boy Ben. And now to present the award for 2019's funniest comment on SRS, please welcome me. Our first nominee is Auto and Tires from the Prince Fielder video I did recently, who went on the biggest roller coaster ride of his lifetime while watching that video. And yes, I know it's technically 2 comments, but I'm going to view them as 1 because they go hand in hand. Our next nominee is Broadsword Media, who also commented on that same video, but contrary to the previous nominee, he took me on the greatest roller coaster ride of my lifetime. Our third nominee is from Pig Explosion, who commented on Mike's Rutgers football video, who writes,
Yeah, we get it. We're bad, and you all take pleasure in kicking the program while it's down because you're afraid. You're afraid of the birthplace, and then Jay, and what we can do when we're back on our feet. Guess what? We're not shouting about now. We're going to please go to whoever fucking bitch. Hey, shit.
Jonathan Hoffman is our next nominee, who commented on the NHL logo video I did pretty recently. And honestly, I've thought about this comment day and night, and I still haven't the slightest idea what this comment means or is trying to say. But I guess that's why I find it so funny. Next we have Grayson, who thinks that I'm retarded. Thanks a ton, Grayson, I think. So all of these comments were great, but there was one that actually made me laugh out loud when I read it. And the winner of the best comment on SRS in 2019 is from Giant Spider Production. This fan commented on the latest edition of Mike Season sentence summaries and gave me a gift that I did not see coming. Thank you, Spider, for your brilliant comment.
Baseball is a simple game. Simple enough that I wrote summaries of every team's past season in 1 sentence each while I was bored at lunch one day. Hey, so this video is going to consist of summaries of every NFL team's 2018 season. 2019 was one of the most fun baseball seasons to follow in recent memory.
Touchdown dances are great, aren't they? Well, some of them are at least. A touchdown dance is a great way to express how you're feeling after making the big play for your squad. There were tons of touchdown dances performed by NFL athletes in 2019, but in order to determine which one reigns supreme, we'd like to welcome back Reg to the channel to help answer that question. For those of you who remember Reg from our early days, you may remember him as the British guy who used to make videos for us. You want to know something funny? The entire time, he was just using a fake accent, and he's actually American. So here to present the award for the best touchdown dance of 2019, here is the newly Americanized Reginald Wolfhausen.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the 2019 Best Touchdown Dances of the Year. Now, without further ado, our first nominee will be number 21 from the Dallas Cowboys, Ezekiel Elliott, with his absolutely fantastic performance of the fakey passy fakey. Truly pushing the bounds of what is possible when it comes to celebration on the field. Our second nominee is Tyreek Hill from the Kansas City Chiefs. Starts with a nice little jig, but ends it with quite the bang. That is a cartwheel into a backflip. Such power and grace cannot go unnoticed. You have made it on the list. And finally, our last nomination is the Seattle Seahawks. 4 different players. I don't care enough to find who they are, but they are doing the bye. The absolute dedication it takes to practice something like this, put your blood, sweat, and tears into this sort of performance is awe-inspiring. Godspeed, Seahawks. Godspeed. Now, finally, without further ado, the winner is... Drumroll, please. Seattle Seahawks! Congrats, guys, on winning the award, and thank you for the absolutely stunning performance. Now have a big piece of metal that symbolizes you did a good. Thank you to all the other nominees. Maybe next year.
So on a normal award show, this would be where we'd end the show. All of the awards have been presented, the music has been performed, and the fans are just about done hearing my voice. But here on Stark Raving Sports, we always like to take it one step further. We promised you all a special announcement, and we'd like to make good on that promise. So I made a pretty cryptic tweet not too long ago saying that we'd look pretty different come 2020, and I wasn't kidding. We've looked the same since our inception in May of 2017, and we figured what time could be better to get a fresh start than the new year. With the help from a friend, we've gotten our first makeover. This is the new look for Stark Raving Sports. We said that 2020 is going to be a big, exciting, and different year for us, and again, we weren't kidding. This is going to be the new look of the channel going forward, and we hope you like what you see. I'm awfully proud of the work we've done on the channel this year, and I seriously believe that 2020 is going to be our year. We've continuously stepped it up in terms of the quality of our content as this year has progressed, and that's given us a ton of momentum going into the new year. On behalf of the channel, I'd like to thank each and every one of you for supporting us throughout the year. If you guys weren't watching and supporting us every single day, we for sure would not be where we are now. We've got lots of surprises and exciting stuff planned for 2020, and we hope you all stick around with us for another year of fun. I'd like to thank every one of the guests for joining me here tonight. They deserve all the support you could possibly give them, so do us a favor and head to the description and check out their work. I'd like to thank each and every one of you for watching this far. Thank you so much for watching throughout this year, and I'll talk to you guys in 2020. Thanks a ton, everyone.
I call the shots, I run the balls, I'm Michael Jordan. Hit it with a little bit of push and a little bit of pull when a goddamn mic recording. I bring the heat, I rep the east, I'm like the South, so I don't even know what to do with the gold that I get. I'm Michael Phelps, I'm like LeBron, I get the gold, I'm Sherry Khan, yo carry bronze, I'm Randy Moss, I'm Mary Khan, my game on Royce, I'm Barry Bonds. I got a cancer, it's for the fans, like a Lance on the Tour de France with a quarter.